Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome in Garnet Trust Hour here on a Tuesday, joined in studio by Gamecock football, Swiss Army knife, do it all, Dakereon Joyner. And Dakereon's already been with us once this year. We enjoyed it so much. We had him back. Dakereon, how you doing, man?
Well, I'm doing good, man. I can't complain.
Good. Appreciate you coming back, joining us again.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, you're a veteran now of the whole radio thing, the whole media thing.
At this point.
You've been doing media for a long time, seriously.
Yeah, I kind of got good at it now.
Yeah,
Don't mind.
It is interesting because, there are some guys, they get here, whether it's high school guy transfer, and they haven't done a ton of media because, like, maybe during recruiting, they didn't answer the phone, or like maybe they weren't a big time recruit or whatever. But I mean, you've probably been getting interviewed since freshman year of high school, sophomore year. Before
grade.
that,
yeah, because that's when I received my first offer from here. So like I was like 13 years
that's
old.
Right.
Yeah, I was getting interviewed by the
13 years
people.
old.
Yeah, so I've been doing it for a while.
That's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
So let's hit this right off the top. We're going to jump all around today, I'm sure, but the media guide came out. That all the media people and the fans kind of look over. So this is a big deal because it's kind of like when the depth chart comes out, right?
Yeah,
like you get that. So there's all these stories written, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So media guide comes out. So what that means is all the newcomers, they got their numbers now, so you can see what number Nicholas Harbor is going to wear. You can see, all right, who's gained weight, who's lost weight and everything. Mm-hmm. So I think you were listed at 229.
229.
Now, our listeners here on 107.5 knew that you were, after the spring, you were up in, 220, 225, something like that.
Like 220.
But, so you put on even more since then?
Yeah,
Are you 229 sitting here right now?
Yeah, 229. Well, after the workout, probably about 228. But,
that's not bad. You only lose 1 pound in the workout.
I'm definitely 229. I'm like that.
God.
The second half of the summer, I've been training my butt off. Strength coaches have done a great job with me and just all of us, you know what I'm saying? But this is the best I've felt my entire life, the most explosive I've felt, the fastest I've felt. So I'm ready to roll, man.
So the biggest and fastest and healthiest and most explosive and any other things you want to throw in?
Hands down.
When you look at, so I know y'all measure things like catapult. Y'all measure all sorts of stuff, know, whether it's your weight, body fat percentage, all these different types of things, and then your physical measurables. So you see in the numbers and in your feeling, like, how much better?
Oh, yeah, 100%. We look at it daily. That's something we track all the time, especially with me, a guy that, I'm at my goal weight now, especially a guy, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to roll, man. It's the best, like I said, it's the best I've felt. I guess that goes to all the sayers that was saying, too small to run in between the tackles. And I've been seeing everything. I've been seeing the last couple of months, the last couple of weeks, I've been just listening. I'm surprised they kind of released the depth chart thing, the weight or whatever, this early. Because I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to wait to,
gonna show up?
Until people see me in person, like, dang, you done got big. I'm glad it came out. So now they know, man.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about athletes is, like, there's a progression.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty rare that you see a guy that, like, starts out as a freshman and he looks pretty similar when he's a junior, senior, especially a 6-year senior. Like, you don't see that a lot. Maybe the closest one, like, even Jadeveon Clowney changed, somewhat. He got to South Carolina and he looked pretty different. But,
that's that strength and conditioning stuff. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Definitely does your
230 though. So, and I think maybe your senior year at Fort D, what were you, 190?
No, I was about 200.
You were 200?
Yeah,
okay.
I was 200, so yeah.
Well, see, I just did something that people are still doing. That's why they're saying you're too small. I was going off like a listed weight. I think like your old Rivals profile back in the day.
Yeah,
was 190.
I was 200 for sure my senior year.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I remember that.
So you put on, at one point you were 180.
Yeah.
In high school, probably like sophomore or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So from the time you were a high school senior to now, you put on about 30 pounds.
And gotten faster. I think that's a scary thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to ask you about some of your teammates too, but in these summer workouts, give fans a feel for, like, what you're doing. Obviously, you guys are working out. You're doing conditioning runs, all those types of things. You're doing the weight room, but the practices and all that you kind of in quotes practices, right? You guys aren't out there in pads and all that kind of stuff. That's not until next month. But what does that look like?
Yeah, so typically 3 days out of the week, the offense would lift first. We lift and condition first, and after that, we'll go into, we call it PRP, player run practice. We'll go out there and do some individual work, go up against the defense and run some team blitz, getting those kind of looks like that, and then we'll go to like some team stuff, a few different segments of team periods, about 15 to 20 plays per segment, and then we'll go finish up with like 7-on-7. And then after that, get some extra work in, so definitely getting the timing down with the quarterbacks, seeing a lot of things from the defense in terms of the O-line, picking up blitzes and stuff like that. So it's definitely been super beneficial to us, and us as players, we take advantage of it full strength. Us leaders have to lead that. Those are player-ran practices. So the only way you can keep that together is the leaders on the team. You know what I'm saying? So Spencer Rattler does a great job. I do a great job. Guys on the defense does a great job at just holding everybody together and just doing what we're supposed to do, prepare ourselves.
Y'all lost some leaders off last year's team. And some of these questions, honestly, like, are going to be some of the same ones that maybe we asked you back in the spring, but you've had a lot longer now, to go into them and kind of see how this evolves. So thinking about the offensive side of the ball, I mean, guys like Nate Adkins, like Javon Gwynn's one I always think about, like he was a big-time leader. Zach Pickens on defense. So you mentioned yourself, Spencer. Who else have you really seen take a leadership role and kind of run with that in the summertime?
Juice Wells, Xavier Legette, Amarian Brown, Mario Anderson, Juju McDowell. Vershawn Lee has stepped up huge. Vershawn Lee is now playing that Javon Gwynn role in terms of a leader. A guy that everybody listens to. A lot of guys, man. But if you think about it, the guys that we have is going to play the majority of the time are guys who played a lot of ball. You know what I'm saying? And that's our edge. That's our advantage this year. So we got a lot to play a lot of ball, and guys who are leaders. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of young guys as well. So all the young guys look at us as leaders. You know what I'm saying? Following our footsteps. So we got to lead by example, man.
Y'all do have a lot of old, like a lot of experience.
Some vets.
I mean, even though you lose, so up front, you lose
all
Eric
of them.
Douglas.
Most of them.
Yeah, I mean, you lose 3 starters. You got E-Doug out, Dylan Wanham, and obviously Javon. But the thing is, Jalen Nichols going down with an injury. He's a senior too. But you still have guys that have played a lot of ball, right? Yeah. They've been here a while. I mean, Nick Gargiulo has played a lot of ball.
Yeah.
Jakai's played a good bit. There's some guys that have played. But, like, receiver – seniors.
Yeah.
Your starters are fourth, third-year guys, fourth-year guys. Running back, Mario's a transfer. First year here, but he's played a lot of ball. You played a lot of ball. Spencer's played. Juju's played a lot of ball.
This year. Yeah.
How much does that help? Even though you're going into, new system, but, like, how big is that just to have that experience?
That's huge. People ask me all the time about it, but that's super huge, especially when you're talking about going into playing in some of the toughest environments in the country, having to go to Tennessee this year, having to go to A&M, you know what I'm saying? That leadership, that vet mentality is going to take over because we've been there before. You know what I'm saying? We know some of the hardest games is the winners on the road. You know what I'm saying? When you have guys that's been there before, we got to take our leadership, we got to take our experience, got to take it there, and don't allow the environment to dictate the outcome of the game.
Yeah. So you mentioned Mario Anderson and Juju. Let's get your updated take on the running back room. How do you feel about that room? That's another one. That's been a big off-season conversation too, right?
I see that too.
We hit your weight and how you're too small, apparently, to play running back. But a lot of questions about the running back room, so how do you feel about it?
I mean, we're a group that has a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
We see it all. Everybody sees it on social media, but we don't pay no attention because we know we're a group that works tremendously hard. We're a group that has a chip on our shoulder. All of us in our running back room has different intangibles. We play off each other well. We complement each other well. But we're a group that doesn't listen to that, man. We keep our head down and we grind. We work hard every single day. Like I said, we see it, but we don't pay no attention to it. But we're a group that's going to be productive on the field and don't really care what anybody else got to say.
What have you seen from Mario, even going back to spring, but player run practices and all that kind of stuff? What can Gamecock fans expect?
Very explosive. That's a guy who's been explosive his whole career. Very fast, twitchy as well. I mean, he has all the intangibles that you want in a running back. So he can catch about the backfield as well. I'm a guy that's, very, very chippy and just plays with a little bit of more on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're very excited about Mario.
This is, out of everybody in the room, does he like to deliver punishment the most, would you say? Or is that you even?
I'm about to say minus me. No, I mean, he loves to deliver it. But I'm a guy who's the same way. So both of our running styles are similar.
Yeah.
We're both, hard-nosed guys that's going to deliver a blow.
When you think about catching the football out of the backfield, so now you've kind of gone like trifecta on all the offensive skill sets that you need to have, right? Because you've gone from throwing the ball. We always knew you could run the ball out of the backfield, but in a different way as a quarterback. So then you get to Carolina, you pick up the receiver skill set, playing receiver. Now you're running the football. But how different, to dive into the minutia of playing running back, like how different is it catching the ball as a running back than as a receiver? I know the routes are different.
Yeah. I think I don't look at it much of a difference. I look at it much as a mismatch different, being able to be guarded by linebackers. But, I don't think it's much of a difference. It's shorter routes.
Yeah, sure.
You can get the ball in your hands a little bit more quicker than a receiver, giving you a chance to make some guys miss. But it's not really much of a difference for me. I'm a guy I've always been an intermediate guy anyway. I've never been a big, deep threat kind of guy. So it's been smooth.
All right, first segment down with Gamecock football's Dakereon Joyner. You're listening to the Garnet Trust Hour here on 107.5. We've got to run into a quick timeout. Back on the other side, going to get more takes from Dakereon on what's been going on this summer with the football team, what to expect the 2023 season, NIL, and so much more. Again, you're listening to the Garnet Trust Hour on 107.5 The Game.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Second segment, Garnet Trust Hour here on 107.5 The Game. I'm Chris Clark, joined by Dakereon Joyner here with me in studio. And Dakereon, we were just going over some of what's been going on this summer. So I want to ask you about some more of your teammates on the offensive side of the ball. Wes Mitchell, my colleague, and I had the chance to talk to Spencer Rattler the other day a little bit about the offense, and he was kind of going through some guys and mentioned you and a bunch of others. So since spring ended, what have you seen out of Spence out there on the field from, you mentioned his leadership abilities. He's had some nice plays too, apparently.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure. He's grown tremendously, man. Me and I forgot who I was talking with it about. We do PRPs 3 times a week. So, but, I think they do him. Spencer and the receivers does a good job of getting extra work in. His timing has been down. He got a little bit more. The ball jumps out his hand a little more now. He's smoother, but you can tell he's playing with confidence though. You can tell he's starting to feel himself a little more. I haven't seen this. This is the first time I've seen this Spencer Rattler before. He's upped his game tremendously, and I'm just not blowing smoke up him, but I've just seen him growing tremendously, man. Like I said, not even just a leadership standpoint, but his physical ability of throwing the ball, processing information, and just understanding the offense.
Wes and I were talking about this the other day, and I think Wes made this point, and he was telling it directly to Spencer. So if you think about even the bowl game where y'all didn't win, but especially the Tennessee-Clemson game where you did upset a couple top 10 teams, Spencer just seemed to play with a whole new level of confidence. Like something obviously, yeah. Mm-hmm. Like you think about the Tennessee game, and he's counting the touchdowns on his fingers.
More swag, yep.
Even the Clemson game, so he throws the early pick 6, right?
Yeah.
He has the fourth down, not the fourth down, he has the interception in going into Clemson's end zone. Mm-hmm. But he never, he still seemed confident.
Yep.
Whereas you contrast that with, Wes was contrasting that with DJ from Clemson, who had not made any back-breaking plays really until later in the game, but just didn't look comfortable, right? So, something just switched there.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's carried over.
That's a testament to his mentality, man. He's a guy who, he's really grown to be a guy who doesn't allow that previous play to affect him. But we've also done a great job of allowing him to know that we have that confidence in him. He's our leader. He's running the ship, you know what I'm saying? But whenever we allow him to understand that we have the utmost confidence in him, it allows him just to play freely. And the defense does a great job of allowing him to know that they got his back as well. He's not going to be perfect, but we're going to complement each other in every way possible. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's defense or special teams, we got to play off each other. So we do a great job of helping him out as well. But he's a guy, man. He's starting to play freely, play with more confidence, and I know he's going to continue to do that this year.
All right, so I'm going to ask this. If you came in here every day for a week in a row, I would ask you every day just to get your updated take. So we ask every player we talk to, hey, what do we all expect from Dowell Loggins' offense? And of course, there's some things schematically you don't have to give away. But Josh Simon, for instance, he said it's going to be like a fast car, like a tuned up car, well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
But so there have been some different descriptions, but like, what's your take on it with what to expect?
Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of everything, man. You're gonna see us slow it down. You're gonna see us play fast. You're gonna see us play with some tempo. But you're gonna see a well-oiled offense that's gonna play off of each other. You're gonna see a lot of different guys touching the ball. Coach Loggins gonna do a good job of getting a lot of different people the ball, allowing us to play freely, allowing us to be explosive. Getting the ball in your playmakers' hands. We got a whole lot of those, but he's gonna do a good job of that. But he's definitely gonna do whatever we do best. He's gonna allow us to do the most. You know what I'm saying? So whatever that may be, we're gonna play explosive, man. We're gonna play freely. You can see a team that's gonna play with a lot of joy and fun, man, because like I said, it's a group filled with seniors, and it's our last go around. You know what I'm saying? So we got to enjoy every moment of it.
Is this team more confident than last?
Without a doubt.
Like going into the
Without a doubt.
How much more? I figured you would say yeah.
Way more confident. I mean, it's just different, man. But I also think we've trained our butts off, man. Coach Luke Day has done a great job of allowing us to just pull it out of us this summer. You know what I'm saying? It's the hardest we've trained in my first 2 years being with Coach Beamer, hardest I've trained in my whole career. But they're preparing us for everything that we have coming before us. You know what I'm saying? But that's just pulling that out of us, allowing us to be more confident and know that nobody trains like us. So we got to have that chip on our shoulder and, man, just go take advantage of everything.
I think it's fascinating what you said earlier about, and I forgot them already, but there are like 4 or 5 different things that you are at your peak in, right? Like your best shape, most explosive, healthiest, right? So let's go to the health part. Have you ever been fully healthy here, like for an extended amount of time? No,
I don't think I have been.
So that's intriguing, right?
Not at all.
Like now you think about being able to go in.
I think the first year with Beamer, I was more healthy than before.
Right.
But yeah, I really haven't been, and it's the best I've felt. Knock on wood, man, but it's the best I've ever felt, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the sky's the limit for me, man. I just got to continue to take care of my body.
Yeah.
Continue to do stuff that's going to, benefit me because I'm the best version of myself when I'm on the field. And we're the best team when I'm on the field as well. You know what I'm saying? So I got to continue to help my teammates, man. The best ability is availability. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be available for my teammates and my coaches.
What's the, I think it's easy to forget for us that, when you're out there running back, like we're used to seeing Dakereon Joyner on the field, like in different capacities, but this will be the first time this year that you're a running back, right? Yeah. Like when you were a running back. Yeah. So how have you grown since even the end of spring there? Yeah,
I mean, physically, I think that's the biggest thing I think of physically. I mean, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster, but also my mental side of the game. I just learned the running back position this spring, but I've had time to learn a little bit more. I've done a great job with protections, even better. That's what I've really been focusing on, protections and helping the O-line and giving Spencer time to, throw the ball even when we're in PRPs. So that's what I really toned in on because I'm physically gifted. I can do that. Just being more detailed, too, in all aspects, man. And also being able to help the younger guys because at first in the spring I was kind of like a younger guy. I'm learning a position, you know what I'm saying? But now I know a little bit more, so now I'm sharing my knowledge and giving my insights to younger guys and even other guys.
Is that the hardest part, is the pass protection? They say that for freshmen coming in, that's the biggest transition.
Yeah, it can be. It's not really the hardest part for me because I play quarterback, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand the protection a little more. But, it can be. I'm just kind of knowing who to get, when to get, keys and stuff like that, looking at techniques and stuff up front. So that can be the most challenging thing.
Tougher to, and now we'll see your answer probably change, I don't know, a few games through the season because you haven't been a running back during an actual season that's not a South Carolina spring game. So we'll ask you again later. But right now, most physically demanding play at running back, is it, hey, carry the ball straight up the gut and you're meeting a linebacker from Georgia in the middle, or pick up this blitzing linebacker from Georgia?
Picking up the blitz.
That seems the hardest to me, but
picking up the blitz. I mean, physically running the ball, that ain't nothing to me. But definitely, whenever you sitting there waiting on him to come full speed, you know what I'm saying?
You know he's coming.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but even just going into spring, I mean, Debo Williams, Bam, Stone Blanton, Pup Howard, those guys do a great job of giving us those looks every single day. And there's not much linebackers in the SEC built like them, as fast as them, explosive as them. That's a testament to those guys, man. But those guys give us that look every single day. So I'm excited for it.
All right, 2 segments down with Dakereon Joyner from Gamecock Football. You're listening to the Garnet Trust Hour here on 107.5 The Game. Got to take a quick timeout. Be back on the other side. More impressions from Dakereon on what's been going on this summer with the Gamecocks football program, his development as a running back, NIL, and much more. We'll be right back.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back in Herndon Chevy Studios here at 107.5 The Game. I'm Chris Clark. I'm joined in studio by Dakereon Joyner here on the Garnet Trust Hour. A couple segments down, already flying by. A lot of material to get to with Dakereon. We've had some good stuff so far. Dakereon on summer workouts, player run practices, heading into preseason camp, all that stuff. So you were talking before the break about some of your teammates on defense, talking about the linebackers. Yeah. What have been your impressions of this defense?
Physical. Yeah. Physical and fast. Those guys coming from everywhere. That D-line, super fast, explosive. Those linebackers, physical. I mean, I can say that about every single position group on the defense, man. The DBs, that whole defense kind of play with a swagger, man. They play with an energy, play with some juice, some energy and juice. That offense we try to feed off of, because that's the group who comes to play every single day in practice, man. Even in PRPs every single day, they bring that. So we try to feed off of that, man, and kind of pick those up from those guys. But that's the group I can't wait to go see ball this year.
Who are some guys on, and you can go defense or offense with this, or special teams, wherever you want to take this. Are there some guys that maybe we're not talking about enough? Because, I mean, I think the fan base, the media, they know, okay, Spencer Juice, Dakereon, even some guys on defense, Nick Ebenwari, et cetera. But are there some guys that are maybe a little under the radar that we need to put on the map?
TJ Sanders. I think I might have said that before.
I think that was one that went to my head immediately.
TJ Sanders, the guy that gave us hell all spring every single day, man.
Right.
He's a guy that's going to be a matchup problem for a lot of guys. Boogie Huntley. I think y'all talk about Tonka Hemingway. His skill set is, tremendous. But Boogie Huntley, and TJ Sanders, the guys that I see every single day, day in and day out. Guys not talking about Debo Williams either, though, man. Guys ain't talking about him. He kind of flying underneath the radar. Stone Blanton, Mo Kaba. So we got some guys now that's going to show up that people aren't really talking about.
Coach Beamer has honed in on a couple things since last year, and so I want to go there. First of all, how does it make you feel that Coach Beamer does not seem satisfied with last year?
We're not either.
Right.
That's a mentality. And it's not just a mentality. That's the truth. We don't seem satisfied. We don't feel like we've done anything at all. We don't feel like we've accomplished anything. We've had better years and upset some top 10 teams, but we ain't did nothing yet. We understand that in our building. We're not satisfied with anything. That's just, like I said, it's not just a mentality. It's the truth in our building, man.
So one of the things that he's talked about, a couple of things that he really wants to focus on this year. One of them, it has to do with the run, and it's stopping the run defensively and then running the football offensively. So thoughts on how you guys get there on offense. I won't ask you about defense, but offensively, how do you guys get there as far as just what you've seen from the offseason, what you maybe seen improve, what you still need to work on individually or collectively as a unit to be able to run it better?
I think the way we attack that is every single day we got to run the ball in practice. Whichever days we feel like we're going to run the most, I mean, we got to do it then. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to give us the confidence to go do it on Saturdays. We go up versus a great defensive line, great linebackers. That's going to challenge us every single day. But that's when we got to take it serious. You know what I'm saying? Of course, take everything serious, but that's when we really got to hone in on that because, like I said, that's going to give us the confidence to do it on Saturday. So throughout the week, we got to do it.
Stylistically, to go to you individually as a running back, I know some of the guys that you grew up watching and some of the guys you still watch and like to model your game after, but what can Carolina fans expect with you as a running back? Like, what is that going to look like?
I'm a guy everybody know I'm explosive, but I'm a guy that does a lot of different things, man. I run inside, outside. I'm a guy that, can spread out and catch the ball out of the backfield. So I'm not a one-dimensional guy. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of teams are going to prepare for us, understands that. So see a bunch of different things from me, man. But I'm a guy who works hard. I get the job done whenever my number is called, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm a humble guy. I don't talk about myself a lot, but I try to show up whenever my number is called. You know what I'm saying? Give all the glory to God and allow my talent and those times that he's given me to take over.
Another thing that Coach has talked about a lot, and he gets a little bit more animated about this one, is turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day, I think he gave a talk in Texas. I think it was to some high school coaches, if I'm not mistaken, where he said, we've been last in turnovers in the SEC, I think the past 2 years, and he said it was embarrassingly bad, I think, and embarrassing that he's used those quotes. So is that another thing? Do y'all talk about that, or is it more like, hey, we got to focus in on this in practice, or do you just organically try to?
We talk about it, but that's the elephant in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that's one of our biggest problems. So, I mean, I don't know how to really explain it, but I mean, every day we hone in on it, man. We keep track of those things every single day. Coach Beamer forces and, hits on our defense about getting the ball out. He focuses on us not giving away the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be a hard place for a head coach, which I never understood. Like, tell us not to turn the ball over, tell the defense to get the ball out every single day. So, in the spring, we made a huge jump of the turnover ratio. But you got to do it every single day. You got to protect the ball every single day. So that builds confidence in keeping the ball, making great decisions. But part of that is coming down to being confident in the plays, understanding the system, understanding everything, and everybody being on the same page. Because you can't point the finger on one person.
Yeah.
A quarterback or running back turning the ball over from the ball throwing an interception. So you got to be confident in our scheme and all be on the same page.
Can you point a finger at why that it's been that way the past couple years, or no?
No. I think it plays all parts, and I think one thing I can kind of hone in on is us not understanding the system. A lot of that comes down from that because I don't think it really, that's what it comes from. That and just lack of detail of not holding the ball properly, man, fumbling the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that stuff every single day. So coach, I mean, that hasn't changed. He has always made us, do running the ball drills in terms of holding the ball the right way, the defense gripping it out. So we do that all day, every day. We start practice with that every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something we harp on all the time. You know what I'm saying? We just got to continue to hone in on it.
So more confidence, less turnovers, playing fast. Like, y'all, you feel like, I'll let you speak for your teammates. Do y'all feel like you're able to play faster?
Now?
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt, I think Coach Loggins has allowed us to but we've done a good job of understanding the system more, man. Whenever you understand things, understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, you can play faster. You can be more efficient. So we've done a good job of that. We just got to continue to do that throughout the summer. We've been, going through our installs, going over our plays. So come fall camp time, we're ready to roll.
Does that, and so while you're praising Coach Loggins and giving him some love, the way that he's administered the offense, is it that it is more simple? Because he's come from the NFL now.
Yeah,
is it that it's more simple, how it's called, how it's explained, how it's called in the huddle or not in the huddle or whatever? Or is it like a combination of all these things?
It ain't the most simple thing in the world now. I don't want to make it seem like that.
Right.
There's definitely some thinking going into it, but I think he's done a good job. We've done a good job of studying, one. But two, he's done a good job of giving our feel for things, not just it being his way all the time, but some concepts that we may like a little better or we see this way. We give him feedback. He's a player's coach, you know what I'm saying? So he loves to hear what we think about things. And we kind of go, I don't want to say 50-50 with it, but we kind of give each other insight on it, you know what I'm saying, to kind of help everybody out.
Well, he called his relationship with Spencer a partnership.
Yeah, you can look at it like that.
That's what it should be, right?
That's how it seems. Those guys, both of them are, they were just seeing their relationship from the outside looking in is beautiful to look at. I say it like that because you got to have that relationship with your quarterback coach or even your OC, man. They got to be on the same page. They got to know what each other likes because those two running the show.
I asked Spencer the other day, this is another one of those things like the depth chart and the media guide and all that good stuff. Fans want to know about Nicholas Harbor.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so give me your quick review, your opening thoughts on Nicholas Harbor.
I ain't going to piss the rest of my teammates off. But one of the biggest and one of the fastest people on the team. I don't want to say too much, but you look at him and you just see, you know what I'm saying? What is it, 6'6", 240 label that or something like that?
Something like that,
Whatever it is, you see that. I can't wait to see him in pass. But he's a guy that we're going to try to instill some confidence in, man. I think that's our biggest thing, getting him going early in training camp, even now, putting him out there with us, making him, putting them in pressure situations, just kind of making them feel a little uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Early on in summer practices. That's what we got to do for a young guy like that without expectations. We just got to throw him in that fire. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what he comes out to be. But it's a guy that he's doing well. But I mean, that's a testament to a lot of the receivers too. Them young guys, man. We got some young guys that's flying under the radar, man. That's gonna do some things.
Tell me about some of those guys.
Elijah.
I have a feeling, Elijah
Caldwell, man. He's a guy that we're very, very excited on. A lot of guys, man, those freshmen that came in, but those two guys definitely stick out to me, man. They're going to play a lot of ball this year.
Have you noticed, and I know you may be a little bit focused, rightfully so, on offense, but I know, obviously, whether it's film or just being out there, pay attention to the defensive guys, too. Have you noticed Vakari Swain's athleticism out there?
Yeah, he's smooth.
Yeah, that was his thing in high school. He was a smooth guy.
Yeah, very, very smooth guy. Play with some confidence, play with some swag. He's a guy that I love watching, too, for sure.
Yeah. He was good with the ball in his hands in high school, too.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm interested to see how he turns out to be, too. You know, with a lot of those guys, you don't really see – you see a little bit in summer training, but you're really going to see what they're made of come fall camp, and not just day 1, day 2. Catching about day 7, day 8, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you in that fire and whenever it's the same thing every single day. So I'm excited to see those guys ball.
All right, got to run into a timeout real quick here with Dakereon Joyner on the Garnet Trust Hour here on 107.5 The Game.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
All right, final segment here in the Herndon Chevy Studios with Dakereon Joyner. I'm Chris Clark. You're listening to the Garnet Trust Hour here on 107.5 The Game. And Dakereon, I was thinking about this the other day. It's been really cool, in my opinion, the whole NIL era, because really just as a media person, how my job's changed, you know, from covering recruiting, I think my first year was like 2009 or something, to now it's way different with all the social media and everything really proliferating. But even, you know, several years ago, if you if you signed a jersey for somebody or a helmet or whatever picture and sold it, you're going to be suspended for the North Carolina game. Seems kind of silly.
Yeah.
So we got rid of that rule. That was a little outdated. But, like, even being able to sit in here with you now and talk here is because of the NIL era. So pretty cool. And I know you've done a great job of leveraging the NIL space, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely has. NIL has benefited a lot of us, man. It's been one of the greatest things that happened to us college athletes. You know what I'm saying? That's to be able to benefit off our name, image, and likeness and not allowing people just to use us. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a guy who does a good job of leveraging in every single way, not just for myself and my family, but I try to give back as much as possible. And I got a huge project coming up soon, man, that I'm going to do this year that's going to I'm going to give back a lot, you know what I'm saying, throughout the season. So I will be releasing that soon. Just a way to not profit, but just benefit off my NIL, man, but just not making it about me, making it about other people, my fans and supporters and stuff like that, but just kind of giving back. So I'm excited for that.
Okay. What's our timeline here to be able to find out more information?
Definitely before camp.
Okay.
I don't really have a time. I just gotta get something up and just make a little a little post or whatever. But it's definitely coming up soon. So it's gonna be a big thing that I've been working on. And I'm blessed enough to be able to do it. So I'm excited for it.
When you were getting recruited, and I'll tell you why I'm asking this in the next question. When you were getting recruited, like, what were the biggest things you were looking at? Factors as far as, like, all right, this is why I want to pick this school or that school.
Yeah, being comfortable was one for me, but two, having a chance to play early.
Yeah.
And three, really just those two. Being comfortable wherever I was at and just giving a chance to being able to play early. Those are my two factors I was focusing on.
How much, if you can kind of put yourself back in a recruit's shoes, like let's say you're Dakereon Joyner, and you're more mature now, I'm sure, than you were in high school, so it's hard to put yourself in those shoes. But if you were Dakereon Joyner, class of 2024 graduate, and you're getting recruited by all these schools now, how much would you consider NIL? Like the different opportunities at different schools?
I mean, it's hard to say you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to say you wouldn't. I would let it play a factor, but not too much. I don't want that to be the main focus. But I would just say, you know what I'm saying, making sure I am getting taken care of. But then again, you got to look at it like, as I'm a high school recruit, I ain't did nothing yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to earn all that. You know what I'm saying? So I would see it from that perspective too. That would be kind of difficult, man. I can't even imagine what this guy's going through now, man.
It's interesting,
different NIL from different schools. But I'm all about genuine, man, being genuine. People who truly care about me. But I think that era of recruiting is starting to be over with. Just to be real, the people being genuine and really caring about you and stuff like that, and you really caring about the school and that loyalty, I think that is going out the door now, and that's sad. Because the NIL has definitely changed a lot, man. So it's difficult. I can't even imagine.
So what's a good way to meet in the middle for schools like here at South Carolina? Being able to give athletes some NIL opportunities when they're here, being able to point to those opportunities to recruits and saying, the next running back that comes in, hey, here's what Dakereon Joyner was able to do here at South Carolina. And not everybody's going to be like you with your initiative and things like that, but here's some examples of some things you could do. How do you meet that balance while cultivating, giving back and not just frankly, buying a kid out of high school? Because, you don't want that. You don't want a roster full of that.
Yeah, you don't. I think I think the halfway part is, incentives to a point. Like, you got to do this to get that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it has to be that way. Not just kind of pointing all to a high school kid at 17, 18 years old. So I think it's an incentive thing. You got to do that to get this. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best way to look at it. But you got to let them know, all these opportunities are here for you, but you have to do this to get that. And that's the way to do it.
Why do you feel like, I know you weren't recruited here by Coach Beamer, but just from what you've observed, what do you feel like how have they been so effective in recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, if Beamer was recruiting me here, I would have been committed here a sophomore year. Because him just being so genuine, man.
Right.
The culture isn't a scam at all. What he presents on social media, what everybody takes so much from videos and stuff like that. That's who we are. I think every recruit has seen that. I don't think that's not a fraud at all.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a good job of just caring about kids, man. Those kids they really want, they care about them. But our culture speaks a lot. Whenever you speak to Coach and then you come visit us, you see that. You see everything you talk about. You know what I'm saying? You see the love, you see the passion. You see how hard working and dedicated we are to each other. You see the closest team. You see those things. So everything Coach, presents is what we really are.
What would you say to fans who are maybe skeptical of NIL that say, I don't like it, I'm not going to participate in it at all? Are there kind of some misconceptions and some objections that you would clear up, or do you just kind of let it ride?
I think I'm going to let it ride, man, because, everybody got their different perspective on NIL, man. I'm pro NIL too, but I definitely know the cons it can bring.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody got their different reasons of wanting to benefit or not. NIL, you know what I'm saying? Some for themselves, some for their family, and some to get back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a guy who kind of all three of those things, man. But more so, it's bigger than me, man. It's about my family, about me giving back. So that's what I tend to focus on. But I can't say everybody else focuses that. It's the same thing. So.
Right. Now, I know you've continued working with Garnet Trust or on the Garnet Trust Hour. How has it been working with that organization, even since we last talked to you in the spring?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful, man. Presenting a lot of opportunities for me. The relationship that we've built, a day-to-day relationship, weekly relationship that I take pride in and I'm very, very grateful for. So it's not just all about NIL, but it's about building relationships, networking, giving opportunities and stuff like that. But, I don't look at this as a, while I'm in college thing. This is my partnership. This is a relationship that I've built with you guys that I know I'll have for the rest of my life. And whenever I come back to Columbia, come back to South Carolina to live one day for my family, this is a relationship that's going to continue to grow. So it's nothing about now, it's about in the future.
So hopefully we get to talk to you again before the North Carolina game, but we might not. So we're gonna leave it here. So fall camp, preseason camp. I'm not gonna call it. I hate calling it fall camp. It'll be 100 degrees. Yeah. So it's not the fall. So
summer camp,
late summer camp is coming around at the beginning of August, and then the North Carolina game. How excited are you for camp?
I'm super excited. I've never been this excited going into camp. I was talking to my family about that yesterday. This is the most excited I've been about going to training camp, man. I'm ready to roll. I'm feeling the best. I got to take care of myself, man, and I'm ready to roll.
All right, awesome. All right, Dakereon, appreciate you being in here with us again today, man. We're right up against the end of the show here, so we're about out of time. But thanks for coming in again today and joining us. Glad you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Glad you're healthy. And we'll talk to you hopefully soon. Hopefully we get to talk to you before the North Carolina game.
Yeah, but if not, man, I'm ready to roll, man. We're ready to put on a show.
Good to know.
I'm back there. Those guys, they out to get us right now. You know what I'm saying? But we're ready to roll.
All right, that's Dakereon Joyner. This has been Chris Clark on the Garnet Trust Hour here on 107.5 The Game. Up next, Gamecock Central Takeover Hour. Thanks for listening.